Hey lads and ladies, the Brushka here and welcome back to our Dawn of Civilization series for episode 8 today. They added a new brush size. I've just noticed that. Isn't that cool? Anyways, I haven't logged on this map in quite a while because the last two episodes were kind of recorded after each other. I haven't been on this map for about a week or two. I forgot what you guys have done to this place. Next Wednesday it will not be a Dawn of Civilization video. It will be something else, but it will be something you guys would still enjoy. Anyways, let's go into this episode and, well, see what other carnage is about to unfold. The Unified Realm, we're just going to call it the Lime Team for now because the Unified Realm is pretty much gone. Their rebellions aren't stopping. This place down here by this river is breaking away. It's safe to say at this point that the Unified Realm has lost all control over its territory, especially when the king went missing. So many states in the Unified Realm are starting to break away. I'm going to redraw the border so it's much nicer. As this rebellion is breaking away, this rebellion has a rebellion and another couple of set of provinces are breaking away. As you can see here, we've got this new dark red nation. I'm starting to run out of colors, but we should be fine. This grey purple nation is willing to let this place go. Most of their important land is down here anyway, especially this region between this lake and this river. Good for agriculture and things like that. This is where they're mainly focusing all their production, all their population. There's not really much over here, because if you remember, the Unified Realm just kind of expanded into it. It's just plains, there's nothing over here, there's not much people, except for along this river, but most of them are Vikings. Grey purple team sees, I'm going to say it's grey purple, because it's not quite grey, I see a hint of purple. This grey purple nation is just willing to let this place go. They see no point in fighting it. Now the question is, what do we do about this lime territory that is in the middle of this rebellion, or of these two rebellions? They're both going to rush into the territory to try and claim it for themselves. As you can see here, there's a bit of a scuffle with the border as they both try and rush to claim the territory. The deal could not be reached, and at the moment the border is just kind of shared until they come up with an agreement. I forgot to mention that this place is going to become their capital. These four nations here are going to expand into the last territory, the last free land in, well, the known world. They don't know about this place yet. No one does. I mean, those islands also count, but the last major piece of land. As you can see here, these four nations are doing it peacefully, especially since they all have a common enemy, this original purple nation, because of the alliance they all agreed. They don't see much point in fighting with each other. They don't want to fight with each other, because that might give the original purple team some ideas. This is what this brown nation and this green nation come up with down here. And as you can see here, the light blue, purple, I don't know what color this is, and this black nation are going to come up with, well, they're going to split this land here. The original purple team is upset. They felt like they were kind of left out of it. These nations in this alliance just look at him and go, "Are you serious, bro?" They straight up just say karma and get good. During this time, naval ideas have grown as well. These last remaining islands are captured by these nations. All these islands have absolutely no people on them. There's no one on them. Maybe like animals or something, birds. But that's it. This light blue nation is going to grab these, and of course the brown nation are going to grab those. There is one island on this ocean here that the light blue nation would like due to trade and being closer to more countries, but the yellow team would like because it's, well, they've got the majority of the islands on this region. So it's a race to see who can get there first. This light blue nation manages to get half of it first, but as soon as they step foot on the island, so does the yellow nation, and this island is currently split in two, and I have a feeling it's going to remain disputed for a long time because both these nations really want this island. It's pretty strategic as well, especially for wars. If you want to go up to the second continent, put your army and navy on there, straight across. If you want to go from the second continent to the third continent, put them on there, straight down. It's very strategic, and it's also good for trade as well, especially with it being right in the middle of the passageway down here, whatever you want to call this. Oh, what a wonderful day it is to do some trading. The bright orange nation here is going to send some trade down towards the original purple team, and on the way they want to claim this island. So they're sending the boats down. They leave this city here, a very important city, especially for trading. It goes past this pink island here, past this pink island, past the pink capital, and they keep going until they reach this island. They claim it, not knowing what it was, but they thought that this island here was this island here, just north of the original purple team. So start heading south towards the capital of the original purple team, where they find another island. Claim this one too. Now they are very confused. They don't know where they are. They found two new islands. They've gone in that trajectory of the purple nation, or so they thought. Now the traders are thinking to themselves, hang on, maybe we are in this sea and we are on this island and we've accidentally claimed this purple team island. So they went, okay, let's go right. They go right and they find another island. Now they are even more confused. We'll catch up with those traders in just a minute and, well, we'll see what happens with them. The government has looked at each province and they've asked questions to all the population across the country to see who would want to stay or leave in the Union. And, well, this northern place up here has shown that it is the only place that wants to rebel away. So this will be the final rebellion for the Lime Nation. They did pretty well. I'm impressed with how big they got. I know they had a lot of unions, but I did not expect them to do this well. If you guys did not want the Age of Collapse, I will always wonder just how big the Lime team would have got. Would they have got the Viking? Would they have gone down here or something? If someone wants to make a video on that, please do. I'll be very interested. But here it is though, the final. Why can't I get this? Is that from a different nation? Who's this? Okay, I don't know. The Lime team is still massive. Is it the largest still? I think it's still the largest nation, just about. They've this place down here which unified with them before. They still want to stay, surprisingly. They have to reinstall a new king or a new government or something, start working on the stability. Strangely enough, although the UKE is now gone, this Lime Nation is going to invade Blue Nation here. These nations now have to fend for themselves. So the Lime team is going to invade this Blue Nation, and while the peace treaty is just full annexation. These three nations here are pretty scared. They're smashed between two powers. I would not count this Orange Nation as a power, but they're pretty close to being power status. This nation is definitely a power. Speaking of powers, after this episode we will be doing power rankings. Now let's go back to those traders, shall we? See what's happening with them. The traders set up a city on the first island they found and they name it after the king, King Maxus. They are very confused about these islands and where the heck they are. So they start going back north again and they find another island. And more islands, and another island. It was at this point where one of the sailors was like, let's keep going, let's find out where we are. So they keep going, they find another island, another island, another island, and then they find a coastline, which they settle on, and they claim quite a bit of it. As you can see here, the Orange team is the first nation to find the New World. However, due to the limits in technology, the king of this Orange nation does not know they are over here. As far as he is aware, he is trading down in the south with the original Purple Nation. So when the boat leaves and starts following the islands to get the supplies they need to set up a city there, it gets lost in the ocean. It doesn't know where it is, it cannot find land for ages, and unfortunately, due to the lack of food, the sailors perish in this ocean up here, which then does lead to the collapse of this colony, as all the people in this region perish away and the trade is lost. These islands are also lost due to the king not actually knowing they existed. They cannot claim them, and they leave and fall apart, except for this one over here. You all thought it was going to be colonization. Not yet, not quite yet. But they are the first person to know about this new world. Does anyone else know? Nope, they died. Sailors died over here, and, well, the remaining traders over here, they died as well because they didn't have a boat and because they ran out of supplies. This blue tribe here received word of a new Orange nation that was appearing in its west. So they send explorers over there. Remaining, they find bodies, small wooden huts and shelters, half-used supplies, including weapons. They find weapons, much better technology that they've got here, and this blue nation here quickly becomes a very, very strong nation. They start researching this weaponry, and they start researching the goods and start producing it themselves to the best they can. Bear in mind, it's not as good as the actual weapon due to this being a tribal nation. They're so limited with technology, and then they start distributing it across this continent. Mainly these three nations here, due to going up here to trade with these tribes is a bit difficult, and this nation becomes pretty rich and pretty strong. They think that this was a gift from the gods. They do not believe that those were that was a different civilization that made its way over here and died. They believe that that was a gift from the gods, and saying that they are the chosen nation to rule the continent. The original Purple Nation was expecting its trade. The trade of weapons. You know the trade of weapons that I told you about that this new world now has? Yeah, they were going to use it to fight this alliance, or at least try to. And I know what you're thinking. This Purple Nation cannot defeat these four nations on its own, and you may be right. That's why they signed an alliance with this Lime blue nation down here. This place now got an alliance. This light blue nation also wanted in the alliance, but both these two nations declined despite being all good friends of each other. So this light blue nation's a bit upset about it. The only reason they wanted to join this alliance is because if they went by this orange nation, which they would have done, or will do, you don't know, is that means that they could have got the territory that the UKE had back. They wanted the whole of the UKE territory. This orange nation starts sending the explorers to go and try and find trade and find out where it went. No one knows. No one knows where the trade has gone. But on the way, this orange nation claims this island just north of the purple team, which they were going to do originally. Piracy is starting to decline. Vikingism is starting to decline. Many of these Viking nations are starting to leave their beliefs and their decisions of being Vikings, I guess, behind. These nations now start abolishing Vikingism and start establishing their own kings and queens and new leaders. So this orange nation up here on this island sees this as a good opportunity to go to war with this small red nation as they are trying to choose the government that they would like, also get their capital, which is right here. And as you can see here, this red nation is pretty quick to fall and they surrender over to the orange nation. And as you can see here by the peace treaty, they are fully annexed. I'm also fixing that. There we go. A rather large land purchase happens, and this orange nation is going to purchase all this territory from the yellow nation for a big amount of money. They also do a land exchange, and the yellow nation is given these islands here. These two are pretty good friends, so these two are also going to form an alliance together. They're not going to attack anyone or anything with it, but it's just an alliance because, well, it's just an alliance to show their friendship. These two nations here, they unite together. They were making a lot of money by using their army to stop Viking raiders all across these lands, but Vikings are pretty much dying off now. They were starting to tank in the economy, so they had to unite with their neighbor. I hate to say this, but say goodbye to the smallest nation. They are invaded, and there was literally zero resistance. They're so small they had no military. A new tribal nation is formed in the New World. They are very prosperous by using these two rivers as agriculture, and they expand up to these rivers. But for some unknown reason, the entirety of this land is flooded and the nation is wiped out along with its population. However, not all the population is wiped out, as some establish new tribal nations on the mountain and on this coastline. Strangely enough, the same thing happens in the north as well, as not only is that territory flooded by some mysterious event, so is this territory up here, meaning that these tribal nations are now stuck on this island and they can't do any trade with these nations down here. No one knows how this happened or what caused this, but this continent has been flooded quite badly. Remember in, I think it was the last episode, where I said that this orange nation is going to struggle to grow and keep itself alive? Yeah, it's become too much for them, and they unite with their neighbor to their east, and the nation starts to do a lot better with itself. Now you may be wondering, why is this red nation not struggling? It's because this grey-purple country has given access for trade through their nation up to this red nation here, because these two are good friends. Although this border dispute may be having a little bit of issues, they are still good friends. Now the Paratan royal family, the old Paratan Empire royal family, that is not this Paratan royal family, they start a speech across this entire continent saying that the Paratan Empire will rise again and it will grow to its peak of what it was before, and the army starts being rallied up. But that was probably not a smart move, because both the orange team, the bright orange team, the pink team, this light blue nation up here, and even this light blue nation here, they organize an assassination. 2 of the attempts fail, whilst the remaining 3 were successful. Yes, he got assassinated 3 times. He was poisoned once, and then stabbed. The queen, that is. Yeah, that's not good for the queen. So this nation is now having a crisis. There's 1 rebellion, there is a 2nd rebellion, and there is a 3rd rebellion. This nation is now split in 4. This light thing is still the royal family from the old Paratan Empire. It is now just ruled by a 12-year-old kid. Make of that what you will. I feel like this kingdom's not going to last long, but we'll see. Now, this small purple nation here, it exists. It's very tiny, not really doing that well. So both these nations, they just invade it, and they split the country in 2. There is little resistance. There is some resistance from this purple nation, which is, well, more than what both of these 2 countries fought. But they split it in 2 during the invasion. They both launched attacks at the same time during the war, and they both split the country in 2, meaning that this is the new border of this region. Technology is on the rise. It is still the age of collapse, and in terms of going to war, it's tricky. However, many nations need more resources. They need more goods. They need things to trade. They need more land they can claim to grow their nation. Many nations work together, and they start mainly focusing on naval. People want to see what is out there. What's across the ocean? Many nations who have claimed islands down in this region here know that there are more islands over here as they can see them. When it's a clear sky and it's not cloudy, it's very, very clear. You can faintly see them in the island. They want to know if it keeps going. Some people think the world is flat. Some people think it's square, Minecraft. Some people think it's round. And they want to figure it out. They want to know if you keep going this way, will you just fall off the world and just go into space? Or will there be more land or continents out there? You don't know. And that is why all of these nations, many of them, mainly the important ones like the Unified Realm, the Northern Empire, the Orange Team, Alesia, the original Purple Nation, mainly those countries are putting their efforts into this technical research. Going back to the New World then, after a few months of the mass flooding, the Great Flood they're going to call it, the land starts to reclaim itself and things start returning back to normal in this region. The land over here returning back to what it once was, and the same can be said up in the north. However, due to how low and small this territory is, it will take a bit longer. This now means that this orange tribes here that was settling in this region moved back to where they were before, and they start using the land once again. However, it is more difficult due to it being wet, soggy and muddy, but it is good for some crops, so they're not going to ditch the land. Up in the north of this continent, during the time of this land slowly reclaiming itself, a group of people claim themselves an empire. They even launch an attack into this light blue nation, and a peace treaty is made. This red nation here is quickly discovered to be the people who were in this region up here, who had to evacuate due to the flooding. They got forced down here, and they made themselves a kingdom. After trading between these two nations, remember this nation we talked about earlier? The nation who got pretty rich and pretty powerful off of the trade that was over here, their leader is dead, and two people are claiming the throne, saying that they are the king who should control the land. Obviously, they both really want to, due to it being pretty rich now, meaning that there is officially the first ever war in this country called the War of Succession. These two provinces here break away from this light blue nation here, this tribal nation, and both start fighting and start the War of Succession. This light blue nation also starts reaching out to this orange tribal nation for support, stating that they will get cheaper goods and their weapons. So this orange nation starts an expansion up towards this green place here as they start preparing to attack the Green Rebellion. They would really like those much cheaper goods, as they plan to take the goods and distribute them to the whole of this southern continent. Anyways, that is where we'll leave this episode of our Dawn of Civilization series. Going into power rankings then, I would like to say that the strongest nation at the moment is this orange nation down here. They're pretty strong. They're pretty stable as well. They're doing pretty well from themselves. So I'd say they are number one in terms of military. In number two, I would like to say it is the original Purple Nation. In the third spot for the strongest nation, I would like to say it is this light blue nation down here. In fourth spot, I am going to say it is this green nation up here, the one that was Viking but isn't anymore. And in fifth place, for the fifth strongest nation, it is the Northern Empire up here. For stability, the most stable nation at the moment is this orange nation here. In second place for stability, the second most stable nation, it is this lime green blue nation here. Number three, it is, of course, going to be the dark purple Northern Empire. Number four, it is Alesia. And for number five, for the fifth most stable nation, it is this grey purple nation up here. In terms of technology and who's leading the technical race, it is the Orange Nation. And finally, for population, I would like to say the most populated nation is the Yellow Nation. Anyways, that is where we'll leave this episode of our Dawn of Civilization series. If you did enjoy it, please do leave a like, subscribe, share, do all that stuff for me. Comment below. Even if you just put comment for the algorithm, it actually does help the channel out a lot. If you want to name anything on the map, please do let me know. All names for everything are, well, all open, so it is up to you. It's a city's map. Look at how much population has... Look at all the population. It has grown so much since when we started the series. You can see the most populated region in the world is this. That's crazy. Anyways, if you got any other games you'd like me to play, whether it be horror, strategy, history, or anything else, put them in the comments down below and I'll be sure to check them out. Yes, with nothing else to say, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and the next episode is going to be a good one, so have a good one.